Welcome to the Property Code. I'm your host, Nick. Today, we explore what made one visionary developer stand out above all others, what the world searched for when typing the greatest estate developer, and how you can apply those timeless principles in 2025. It began 20 years ago with a young architect named Thomas Grant. Fresh out of college, he arrived in a mid-sized coastal city where warehouses sat empty and seaports teemed with potential rather than products. While established firms focused on suburban sprawl, Thomas saw a sliver of opportunity in the neglected waterfront. He sketched a mixed-use neighborhood where loft studios would bask in morning light, ground floor markets would spotlight local farmers, and tech incubators would rise alongside art galleries. His friends called him idealistic, yet he believed that the greatest estate developer is not defined by capital alone, but by vision married to execution. Thomas's first project was modest, just a dozen units converted from an old cold storage building. He had savings of $8,000, a small loan from his parents, and an unshakable belief that sustainable design and community engagement could unlock value. In 2025, we call that tenant experience strategy or ESG alignment, but Thomas pioneered it before those acronyms even existed. He installed rain harvesting tanks, chose reclaimed wood for flooring, and invited neighborhood leaders to participate in design workshops. By the time the building opened, every unit had an applicant waiting list longer than the rental office could handle. His next step mirrored the highest demand search, how to become a real estate developer. Thomas realized that growth required scalable processes. He studied municipal codes until he knew every zoning nuance, learned to negotiate infrastructure grants for green roofs, and mastered modular construction techniques that cut building time by nearly 20%. He built partnerships with local fintech platforms, offering fractional ownership so that community members could invest with as little as $2,000. This approach democratized capital and turned every tenant into a stakeholder in the project's success. Within 5 years, Thomas's firm had transformed that single warehouse district into a vibrant quarter with over 300 residential units, boutique offices, and a public plaza powered by solar canopies. He attracted national attention when a major newspaper called him the greatest estate developer of his generation. But what truly set him apart was an unrelenting focus on data and adaptability. In 2025, cutting-edge developers leverage artificial intelligence analytics to forecast demand, but Thomas relied on early adopter market research tools and direct tenant feedback to refine his plans. He tracked foot traffic patterns, surveyed co-working space usage, and even monitored ambient noise levels to determine where to position live-streamed concert stages in the new park. His projects continued evolving alongside trends. When remote work exploded, he introduced flexible leases and micro-units with smart furniture that morphed from home office to guest bedroom in minutes. When climate events intensified, he adopted parametric insurance models and designed buildings to FEMA resilient standards. When ESG reporting became essential to institutional investors, he devised transparent dashboards showing real-time energy performance and tenant satisfaction metrics. By anticipating what the market would demand next, he built not just structures, but lasting ecosystems. Behind every headline about his latest award or keynote speech was a disciplined playbook. First, relentless site selection. Instead of glitzy downtown plots, he targeted undervalued corridors slated for infrastructure upgrades. Second, community-first engagement. From pop-up markets to stakeholder councils, he ensured each project met genuine local needs. Third, modular efficiency. By prefabricating 90% of components offsite, he slashed costs and timelines. Fourth, tech integration. Every property featured IoT-enabled sensors for predictive maintenance, tenant apps for on-demand services, and blockchain-verified leasing contracts. And fifth, exit strategy design. He blended sales, long-term leases, and co-investment models to optimize cash flow and equity recycling. Today, as we navigate 2025's landscape of hybrid offices, fractional ownership platforms, and sustainability mandates, Thomas Grant's legacy teaches us that the greatest estate developer combines visionary storytelling with operational excellence. It is not enough to imagine a bold future, You must master financing structures, digital marketing, local government relations, and construction innovation. You must engage tenants as partners, treat data as your compass, and leverage new technologies wherever they can reduce friction or amplify value. If you aspire to follow in those footsteps, begin by studying evolving demand signals, counties investing in high-speed rail, employers adopting 4-day work weeks, consumers choosing net zero living. Use AI-powered analytics to uncover micro-market mispricings. Cultivate relationships with civic leaders and community activists so that your projects deliver true social benefit. Embrace modular construction and PropTech tools to sharpen your competitive edge. And remember that every building you design can tell a story of shared purpose, attracting investors and occupants alike. That is the mark of the greatest estate developer: the ability to see beyond walls and columns, to weave people and place into lasting value, and to adapt before change becomes obvious. Thank you for listening to The Property Code. I'm Nick, and I hope today's journey inspires you to build not just structures, but thriving communities, and perhaps write your own chapter in real estate history.